It's David Wowee. Ever watch a Sparkle guide and think, what on earth is this guy talking about? And there's so much technical stuff, you instantly fall asleep. As a semi-new Honkai Star Rail player, I thought I'd create a Sparkle guide for anyone like me who just wants to know in plain English how to use her, how to make her strong, and what buttons to smash so she looks cool in battle. Here you go, my good friend, and like this video or become a super member while you're at it. Besides being great at shaving her legs and wearing these freaky masks, Sparkle is the best for doing one thing: increasing the skill points of your team, and then making everyone stronger at the same time. Wait, is that two things? For the new players, every time one of your characters uses a skill, it costs 1 skill point. And if you use characters like Imbibitil Lune or Xīngqióng or however they're pronounced, they can use up a bunch of skill points per turn, which means the skill points you have run out super quickly. Thanks to Sparkle, this isn't the case anymore. She can increase the team's skill points to 7 skill points compared to the usual 4 skill points you start battles with. So how do you get her to increase everyone's skill points? You do this in 2 ways. The first is the most fun to me. As you run up to your enemies in battle, use the support command you see on the bottom right of the screen. This is a technique called Unreliable Narrator. What Unreliable Narrator does is it activates this thing called Misdirect for 20 seconds. Firstly, this misdirect makes it so that enemies can't see you, which is great if you're trying to avoid random battles. But if you do decide to get into a fight, since you activated misdirect, instead of starting the battle with the usual 4 available skill points, your team will get 7 sweet ones instead. The other way for Sparkle to increase everyone's skill points is through her ultimate, which is when her purple orb thingy starts glowing. Her ultimate is called the Hero with 1,000 Faces. This does the same thing. It recovers 4 skill points for the team, and I like to use this when the team has about 3 skill points left, because the maximum skill points you can have with Sparkle in the team is 7. Besides giving everyone more skill points, Sparkle's ultimate also gives everyone this thing called Cypher. Remember Cypher for later. Besides Sparkle's ultimate, which increases your team's skill points, she has a skill, that thing on the bottom right labeled Support. This skill is called Dream Diver. Dream Diver is great because it does a couple of things. The first thing that Dream Diver does is lets you pick who in your team you want to strengthen. When you pick them, you strengthen their crit damage by a percentage of Sparkle's own crit damage for 1 turn. So the higher you make Sparkle's crit damage, the higher your chosen teammate's crit damage will be. For those of you who don't know what crit damage is, it's the damage dealt when you land a critical hit. I don't really know what it means either, but trust me bro, this is a YouTube channel, alright? Fully trustworthy stuff on YouTube. So in plain English, use Sparkle's support skill called Dream Diver to pick who you want to have the chance of inflicting stronger attacks. The second thing Dream Diver does is it lets your teammates skip the line and make it their turn earlier than it was supposed to be. Look at the order of moves in this example. As I hover Sparkle's skill over each member of my team, you see their profiles move up in the line on the left. When I finally settled on using the skill on Black Swan, she moved from the bottom of the line to 2 steps further up. This means that her turn will come much quicker in the game. So Dream Diver lets you pick one teammate to strengthen for 1 turn and advance forward so their turn will come quicker. If you think all of this is great so far, you're right, it is great. But Sparkle is even better than that. Sparkle can make everyone stronger simply by existing. This is through her talent called Red Herring. Just by being in the battlefield, that maximum number of skill points you can have can now be 7, and whenever a team member uses a skill, all your allies' damage increases for 2 turns. And not only that, it can stack up to 3 times, meaning that your team's attacks get stronger and stronger each turn for 3 turns, simply from Sparkle existing and from any of your teammates using a skill. Now remember earlier when I mentioned Cypher? As a refresher, when you use Sparkle's ultimate, the Hero with 1,000 Faces, you increase everyone's skill points, which you now know, and you give everyone Cypher for 2 turns. And you know how just then I said that through the talent called Red Herring, when Sparkle's in the battlefield and another teammate uses a skill, all your team's damage increases for 2 turns. What Cypher does is, after everyone's damage has increased from Red Herring, it makes everyone's damage increase even more. it just stacks more and more damage until the world overflows with your bloody damage. How greedy with damage can you be? So in summary, before you get into battle, you smash that support to give you misdirect. This hides you from your enemies, and it also lets you start the battle with 7 skill points instead of the usual 4. And then when you're in battle, you use Sparkle's support skill, Dream Diver, to increase someone's critical damage and make their turn come faster. And when you're ready to use Sparkle's ultimate, called the Hero with 1,000 Faces, you use it to give everyone more skill points and make their attacks even stronger. Now, how do you make all of the above even more effective? You go to her traces tree, man. Here you can upgrade all the stuff I told you about. Sparkle's ultimate, Sparkle's skill, Sparkle's technique, plus a bunch of other buff type things you can activate that are self-explanatory. Basically, the more you upgrade these, the more effective each one gets, and the stronger and more effective Sparkle becomes. The bottom right tells you the items you need to upgrade these skills. You can actually click into them to tell you exactly where to find these items. Unfortunately, upgrading any of these won't increase the skill points you gain. You're pretty much capped at 7. The only way you can increase the skill points is to unlock Sparkle's E4 version, meaning you'll have to pull her 4 more times in a banner, meaning you're a billionaire. Give me money. Now, who is Sparkle best with? To me, she's great with anyone, because she makes life so much easier with those extra skill points, and she improves everyone's attacks just by being there. But she works even better with characters like Mbibata Lune and Xīngqióng, who use up a lot of skill points. In fact, I wonder how people even use them comfortably before Sparkle came about. If you've got a Mbibata Lune, you may want pinyin in there just to restore his energy, or you may just want to turn the game off and take a break and go outside, eat a croissant, massage your leg, shave your legs. Aside from this, because Sparkle is a quantum element character, she could work great with a quantum team, so for example with Xīngqióng, Silverwolf and Fu Xuan. You can see a lot more detailed team builds online, but to me Sparkle's great with everyone, because everyone could benefit from more skill points. In terms of relics, I'm actually really bad with relics and just chose a random one, and I still do well with Sparkle. But for the sake of this video, I googled around and found that messenger traversing hacker space is good. Whatever that means, Google it to find the location. I'm going to do the same thing too. And of course, if you're a billionaire and you want your Sparkle to be the greatest Sparkle in the entire planet, you can randomly pluck her out of a banner 6 more times to unlock her E6 version. But as I hinted earlier, I would even be happy with her E4 version, which lets you recover 1 more skill point and increases your team max skill points, so you can actually have 8 total skill points instead of 7. And 8 is a lucky number. Imagine all the dragon things you can do with Mbibata Lune with that. Imagine all the friends and women you can impress. 0. And if you're new to Honkai Star Rail or any of the games in the Honkai universe, you don't really get weapons like in other traditional RPGs. You get these things called light cones. As I said earlier, when Sparkle enhances another team member's crit damage, that crit damage increase is based on a percentage of Sparkle's own crit damage. So the best light cones would be the ones that increase her crit damage, because the higher her crit damage is, the higher everyone else's crit damage could be if she applies a buff on them. There's Sparkle's Gacha light cone, Earthly Escapade, and the light cone called But the Battle Isn't Over is a pretty sweet one, because it also regenerates a skill point when the wearer uses an ultimate on a teammate. The third light cone that looks good is the Past and Future light cone, which is a free light cone. What it does is it increases the damage of the next teammate taking action after Sparkle. If you have more recommendations, let me know below. There's a lot more technical stuff to Sparkle, but this guide should hopefully help you understand the most important bits. First is that she has smooth shaven legs. Unlike my legs, you don't want to see my legs, man. And next is that she can increase everyone's skill points prior to battle with her unreliable narrated technique, and also during battle using her Hero with 1,000 Faces ultimate. She can also improve a chosen teammate's crit damage for 1 turn and advance their turn using her Dream Diver skill. And let's not forget that everyone becomes stronger when Sparkle is around. Aww. If you have any thoughts about Sparkle or your own techniques to share, or if I've done anything wrong, comment below. On that note, I'm tired, man. It's 9:30 PM, so I'm going to walk my dog. If this video helped you in any way, chuck me a like and subscribe. And if you're feeling brave, become a super member, baby. Oh hey, look, it's a fancy pantsy YouTube end screen. Check out these other videos for more useful and really cool stuff.